Hey, bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue à RCW, le troisième podcast ici aujourd'hui. Je suis joint ici par le Hardcore Jasker. Comment ça va tout le monde?
I'm not Hardcore Jasker, I'm Austin O'Connor, the next world champion.
How's it going, everybody, guys?
Actually,
Welcome.
no, it's me, Hardcore Jasker. Who else would it be?
I had to talk French there, I'm sorry, guys, but...
Yeah, Frenchie.
Am I French fry?
You're something alright.
I'm a French fry.
Oh yeah, you're something alright.
Anyways, welcome guys to the third podcast of RCW. These are doing good, I'm pretty sure. I haven't been on the channel in a while. Jasker normally checks that out, but how are you guys doing? Hope you guys are safe and sound, warm if you're in Canada. New Brunswick?
I don't.
He's a heel.
No, I'm not. I'm just an asshole.
You're right.
I'm just a normal, plain old asshole.
Anyways, man, so last week we had Olivia James. What'd you think of that? Man.
No, that was a fun little podcast. The only thing I wish is that there was a little more planning into it and it didn't, sit there with a bunch of dead air. But, you know what? It was her first podcast. She was probably nervous as hell. And you know what? I can somewhat respect that, I guess. I guess. If I have to.
You guess.
If I have to.
Oh.
But only if I have to.
Okay.
This is being recorded on the 23rd of November. As of tomorrow, we will find out the fate of Nikki Blade's RCW career as he is going for his, what would you call it, tryout?
Tryout.
Okay, we're gonna call it the tryout. The tryout for NWE. And if he makes it, there is a real chance that he has to retire.
Yeah.
And if that is the
retire the backyard.
If that is the case, I'll touch on that a little later. It's on the list of things to talk about. But if we're going to spoil this, if Nikki Blade's bosses say yes, he has to retire from the backyard, the next episode of the podcast will be a tribute of sorts to the life and career of Nikki Blade. The podcast will be all about Nikki Blade. I'll still be here, but it's going to kind of be like a one-on-one interview, sort of, instead of a normal podcast. That's the way I think we're going to run it. Because it's what I think Nikki Blade deserves the best, because he's been a loyal member of RCW since day one. And he deserves a good interview send-off before his actual retirement match, which we do have a date for. We're not going to spoil it, but we have a date set in plan for his retirement.
Do ya?
Yes, but we're not going to reveal that. You're going to have to stay tuned to the channel.
Heck yeah.
But it will be a part of a show. That's what we were trying to figure out between.
It will be in front of a live audience.
It was what we were trying to. Me and him were kind of talking back and forth before we came on air of whether the match should be in front of a live audience or if he wants it to be like a Gunnar J versus Nikki Blade type match. He said he'd rather.
Hell no.
He said he'd rather it in front of a live audience. So stay tuned for that.
Heck yeah, and it'll be enough.
Just know, anything that you see that comes out from the channel with Nikki Blade in it, just know that was pre-recorded. I can't stress that enough. If he does have to retire, everything that you see on the channel has been pre-recorded regarding matches from him.
Yes.
To not upset his new bosses.
Yep, that's if I get hired.
Yeah, if he gets hired. If not, then there's no retirement match. So, but there probably is a good chance that there will be a retirement match if he gets hired.
Yep, for sure.
There's probably a good chance, which is fine. But we'll talk about how RCW will be ran and shit like that a little later in the podcast. As for right now, I got one thing to talk about and one thing only.
Which is what, Hardcore Jasker?
What was this before? What was it before it was RCW?
So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are not aware, yes, I used to run a company by the name of BWF.
I was not involved in it.
No, he was not, which was a normal kids trampoline backyard company.
But hey, you know what? Everybody makes their start somehow. That's how Nikki Blade started. And then, hell, he
Come on, we all know you wrestling fans want a trampoline and want to wrestle with your friends on the trampoline. We all know.
Yeah, exactly.
Every wrestling fan has done it.
Exactly. That's how I sort of somehow got my start as
So
well.
I got involved with the wrong crowd as well, and then they wanted $300 each to film a video, and I refused to because I just thought it was fucking ridiculous.
That is also where we stole the name of Backyard Mania. We stole it from that old company, if I do recall
Well, I
correct.
didn't steal it because I'm the one who came up with
Yeah,
it.
no, I know, but that was the one thing that we took from that, other than Nikki Blade.
Yeah, so
But except he went by his wrestling name instead of their real names, like a bunch of idiots.
The four other guys can fuck off.
Yeah, including that Curtis McKinnon guy.
Ouch.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck Curtis.
Yeah, he was a terrible wrestler, and he was a terrible owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're reviewing names now.
No,
So
but everybody knows that.
how
That's
you
your
doing, Andrew?
Well, everybody knows that was your name.
How you doing, Andrew? Andrew Gale.
I'm doing fucking. I'm happier than a pig in shit right now. Okay, so
then
skip ahead. What? A year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah, I'd say 2 years later, I switched schools. I'm at Hardcore Jasker.
What's up?
So I think everybody knows how this began, but basically,
everybody knows how the company began.
because
But
of
what
a
they
sweatshirt.
don't know is that it wasn't originally called RCW.
No,
It was originally called UWF.
UWF. So if you go
I don't
on my
know
Facebook
what the
page,
fuck that was.
scroll down.
I don't know what it stood for. But
World
okay.
Wrestling Federation.
What's
No.
the fuck does the U stand for? I mean, I understand the W. I understand the F. The W and the F stood for Wrestling and Federation, but I don't know what the U stood for.
Ultimate.
I felt like that's what it was, but like.
Wrestling.
But I didn't want to.
Then there would be two W's though.
I didn't think that there was. I thought that's what it stood for.
Ultimate Wrestling Federation.
And that is.
We'll just say that's what it was.
And that probably sounds about right, in all honesty. So, when we alluded to in Backyard Mania 1 that I won the championship in a match, that's what we were talking about. It was a setup for UWF before the name was changed to RCW.
Hey, shout out to Connor. I don't know, he's probably not listening to this, but the guy who made our logo, Connor, big shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. You guys did a great job on that logo. Thanks for sending it to us, and we really appreciate it.
So yeah, it originally started as a UWF thing, and well, I think the name changed once Nikki actually met this Connor guy.
Yeah, it did.
Because the name was, we were going to run with UWF, and then he was like, hey, by the way, it's not going to be called UWF, and I was like, oh, okay. Before Backyard Mania 1, we were the only two employees of this company, which is also funny considering we run the company together.
It's funny, we were talking about a Tyler guy, but he never showed up in any shows.
Yeah.
It's weird. I wonder what happened to him.
I don't know.
I should talk to him again.
Maybe. See if he's still interested.
We'll see.
Maybe he can show his face finally.
Yeah.
Over 2 years of hype, and we still don't know who this guy is.
But we ain't putting him over yet.
2 years. 2 years of who this mysterious Tyler guy is.
Who the fuck is Tyler?
Who? I don't know. You know. I don't.
No, I'm joking. I know who he is. Good guy.
Didn't he used to go to Von Allen?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
I thought. Maybe not. Anywho. So yeah, it started as UWF. We had a not recorded match for the World Championship, which if you watch Backyard Mania 1, you know who won that match. Me.
You sure did.
Also, I would like to...
Can we go over the Backyard Mania 1 card?
The Backyard Mania 1 card, we already did, but if you want to go over it again, we could.
Did we?
No, we didn't. That is correct. We went over Backyard Mania 2. We didn't go over 1. Backyard Mania 1 was the first RCW/UWF event.
We already did. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Not 1. We went over 2. We went over the pay-per-views in 2018.
All right, let's start how it felt like and what was the process for setting up Backyard Mania 1. That was the biggest pain in the ass. It was raining that day.
Yes.
The tarp was slippery.
The tarp, don't forget the tarp sucked in general.
Yeah.
And the ropes sucked ass.
But, I mean...
It wasn't our best wrestling, but...
Honestly, we had to train the ring announcer first day. Like, it was so hard. We had to make sure everybody was there on time.
Yeah.
Jasmine Hawks was coming from Moncton, and
God bless her.
Where we are, how long of a drive is that again?
45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. So basically, setting up for that show, it was raining, so we constantly had to wipe down the mat. We had to go over the matches like probably 4 times. We had to go over the entrances. It was the first ever show. We had problems with the camera.
Yeah.
We had a photographer that was there, and we did our interviews and everything, which turned out great.
Yeah, no, those did turn out great. So much so that we kind of did the same formula for Backyard Mania 2.
Yes, we did.
Except it wasn't interviews; it was promos.
Promos, yeah.
Which also turned out really great.
Also, you know how we are looking for other people, guys? Who would like to be a permanent interviewer?
Yes.
Almost like a Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yes, that would be actually really nice.
That would be.
Because instead of always just us whipping out our cell phones and talking about how we feel.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have like somebody hold the mic, like a permanent guy there.
Yeah.
Like,
because it would have added so much more if we would have had it, because like we could have talked about like when, say for example, we could have had an interviewer when I won the Canadian Championship for the first time.
That would have been sick. We could do it like more old school wrestling. You know how in the Grand Prix, it was a title match. They won the match. They would get out of the ring, and the interviewer was waiting for them right outside the ring, and they would do a promo right outside the ring.
Yeah.
And right before they would do their entrance, they'd do a promo right there. So we'd have it'd be so cool to do it old school like that. And you know what? Backyard Mania 1 was great, man. We had, I still get cool compliments from that. I actually give guitar lessons to a young lad, and he loves Backyard Mania 1. He said he loves RCW, is a big supporter, and hopefully he'll be joining sometime soon.
Maybe.
Awesome. So the card of Backyard Mania 1, it was Hardcore Jasker versus Paul Roberts in the first ever RCW street fight not for the belt. It was not for the belt. It was not because Nikki Blade challenged you for the belt.
Correct. Okay, so as I said, I alluded to in the interview that I did for Backyard Mania 1, the interviewer was like, I see you have a belt there. And I was like, yeah, it means I'm the champ. The context of that that whole UWF skit was establishing the Nikki Blade Hardcore Jasker rivalry that has officially ended for now. Who knows if it will come back?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
We don't like each other.
You know, can't stand him. Anyway.
I can stand. I'm friends with Andrew, just not Jasker.
Yeah, fuck Jasker.
Fuck Hardcore Jasker.
Yeah, so the UWF thing was how RCW started. It was just a little stupid thing for him to show to his friends more so. It was before we were taking a wrestling promotion as serious.
Oh my god, dude. You know how like kids always start this new wrestling thing and they never finish it, but we wanted to take it far, dude, and I'm pretty sure we succeeded at that. We did good. We did
compared to compared to your other company, we have more subscribers, but we haven't achieved the same view count for whatever reason.
Yeah,
which I don't understand. That the highest video I think from what I saw was 393 on,
which is Mania 2.
No, which is on BWF is 393, and the highest on RCW is almost 200, which is Backyard Mania 2.
We'll get there. I believe in the fans.
But we can say that we have more subscribers.
Yeah, we do.
By like 15 or so.
You know what would be a dream come true for RCW, and I'm not joking. It doesn't have to be a golden one. But do you know what would be sick if you fans there could share our videos and maybe get us a play button for RCW to hang up as
Yeah, that would be
a
cool.
award for RCW.
That would be cool. It proves that we put our hard work into it because
It doesn't have to be the big gold one.
Yeah.
Just one little plated, and we could set it up on our desk. That would be such a dream come true. So if you guys could help us succeed at that, I know there's so many YouTubers out there that are dying to get that, and we are too. But
yeah, both me personally and me as part of RCW.
it would be so cool. We would die to do it. Like, I'd go off my roof head first just to get that play button.
Like, it would be a cool little notch in our belt. I do agree.
Big time. We're looking at each other right now and we're like, yeah, fuck.
So the UWF thing, the way it started is we didn't know if we were really going to be serious about starting our own company. Like, it's like Nikki said, the whole, oh yeah, we're going to start a company. We were exactly like that. We didn't think we'd take it as seriously as we did. And in the long run, I think not only you guys, the fans, but us, we're kind of glad that we took it as far as we did. Because the way we look at it...
Dude, the fans helped us out just as much as well due to the due to the fact that they came to our shows to support us as well.
Yes.
And like they're so supportive when like teachers from our school. It's not often that you hear teachers going to their students' house, but they are such big RCW fans, the one that do come, and they always ask us, when's the next one, and they're adults, man, they're acting like fucking kids, but I'm like, you guys should know better. It's freaking winter, man.
Sadly we can't do much.
Fuck Canada.
Sadly we can't do much, but
no. But hopefully these podcasts are entertaining.
I'm gonna lay down this promise right here, right now, and you can mark me by my words. In 2019.
Oh, hold on. Let me get a pen. You said mark you by your words.
In 2019, every pay-per-view that is scheduled will happen, no matter what. I don't care if it's only 2 fucking wrestlers there. I will make sure that we get every single pay-per-view.
We get one match uploaded. Yes.
I am making sure every single pay-per-view is happening.
Check the weather too, then.
Yes, we always have to do that.
All right, guys. So just before taking a quick break there, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be coming up with our next segment. I just want to announce that our Tough Enough tryouts will not be happening next weekend, but the weekend after. So not next Saturday.
Yes, and I actually...
Do you know the date of that? Could you check that?
I took the time to actually put that on the schedule of things to talk about.
Okay.
So we'll kind of get...
We will go more into it.
Yeah, we'll go in more into it when that segment comes. As for what next...
Which would be...
we can't do that.
We can't.
It would be the 1st of December, and for those of you who don't know, that is Austin O'Connor's birthday.
Ooh.
So we probably won't be able to do it that Saturday. We could maybe do it the Sunday.
Okay.
And I can't do the Saturday. I can't do the Saturday either because I'm working.
Shall we sing Happy Birthday?
No, because it's not December 1st.
Can we just sing it on this podcast?
I'm not gonna sing to that little shit.
Okay.
Yes, you filthy animal.
All right, guys, enjoy the song for the break. Here we go. Thank you.
First I lost my job, my friend OD, and now you're leaving. So I go on my life, pretend everything is fine, and I smile as I wave goodbye. But I still got this guitar, and a bottle of gin, and a sad lullaby. One more sheets to the wind. Oh yeah, it's sure been one hell of a day. can't erase the tracks. She's never coming back. So I'll raise my glass and sing. It's preaching to the world. Every boy and girl is still prays for the past and the real. With justice on the news, can't pray and no use. Cause God's just cashing in. Cause God's just cashing in. Goodbye, farewell, my friend. Cause God's just cashing in.
Welcome back, guys, to the third podcast of RCW. Jasper, how you doing so far?
Good.
Good. You're good.
Yes, and as for the next segment,
That was a pretty chill song. I was dancing to it.
As for the next topic, we're going to get a little more into the Hall of Fame. Now, as far as we know, there is not a date to it.
But we will find one.
But the recording process will be starting within the next month or so.
But yeah.
We gotta do like interviews and put clips together, so that will probably be happening within the next
We're going professional
month or so. So the way we have, I think we've agreed that the Hall of Fame is going to take the format it's going to basically be like sort of like a WWE Hall of Fame, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
So what we mean by that is we're not going to like. It's going to take place where instead of the backyard, it's going to take place in the house.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to really be in the backyard. The Hall of
and plus we're dressing up all fancy. We're gonna get our suits, our tuxes.
No.
I am. I don't care what you guys do.
You can, but I'm not. Fuck that. There's only two reasons to be in a tux: prom and your wedding.
Who told you that? Your dad?
No, that's my words of wisdom.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
So the way the Hall of Fame is going to work is that it's going to work similar to WWE, and what we mean by that is we're going to have like our entrance, the entrance of the person who's going to induct. So say, for example, Paul inducts Nikki. Paul's music's going to hit. I'm not saying that Paul is going to induct Nikki's, so don't say, oh, so it's not Paul, it's not Paul inducting Nikki, what the fuck, you guys said? No. We're just using that as an example. So Paul's music would hit, he'd come out, he'd do his whole, yeah, Canada thing, and then he'd prepare a little speech that he wants to say about Nikki. After said speech, our camera crew will cut the camera. The live audience will get to see the package, but you will also get to see the package as well. Wink.
Fuck yeah.
We'll put the clip package together after the camera cuts, after Paul would be done his speech, and then after it's done, the camera would start rolling again, Nikki's music would hit, and he would come out in his stupid pink suit and smile for the crowd, be like, I love you guys so much, and blah, 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 blah. Say his speech, and then his music would hit again, and he'd leave, and then the next person would get inducted.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to run. The clip packages will be probably about two minutes, I'm thinking, or so, around that time frame, in between a minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on the wrestler. The reason why we say depending on the wrestler is because there is that special someone that Nikki wants to induct.
Yep.
So she doesn't have a lot of clips from us that we can use, and we don't really want to use other companies' clips just to be on the safe side. Because I'm not saying it would get us in trouble, but I don't really want to chance it. Because I know she's wrestled in IHW and UWE and all that crap. I know she's wrestled all around there. But I wouldn't want to risk using those clips just in case. So basically, the way hers would work is match footage along with just maybe interviews along with her reactions of being put into the RCW Hall of Fame. It's how hers would run, not how anybody else's would run. The way, because the other three candidates have so much to work with, that we can successfully do 2 minutes of matches and just talking points.
Yep.
Whereas Jasmine, we can't.
Jasmine Hawk, I still miss you.
You should have never left RCW.
Don't say that. She's doing great.
No, I'm not saying she's not doing great. But yeah, so count that as two people who have left RCW to move on to Maritime Wrestling. Asshole.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Hotshot Big Shot.
You're gonna miss me.
No, I'm fucking.
You're gonna miss me.
Let me quote myself from 2017. The pay-per-view was Domino Effect. Oh boy, the first pay-per-view without Nikki as an active competitor. Then he became the GM. But then he relinquished that role, and now we don't really have a GM.
Ooh, ouchie.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the Hall of Fame. I don't know if Nikki has much more to add to that.
We got our 5 memes coming up, ladies and gentlemen. So Jasper, take it away.
Meme number 1, Austin O'Connor's hair. Meme number 2, Captain America with a mustache looks like the guy who wants pictures of Spider-Man. Meme number 3, Nikki Blade's wrestling career outside of RCW. Meme number 4, Pirates of the Caribbean. Meme number 5, Nikki's hairline.
Ow.
So there were your 5 spicy memes for the day.
All right, ladies and
we are not taking another break right now.
We are not. Don't
we got to at least do one more segment before another break.
I am not. I wasn't going to say a break. Trust me.
As for the next topic, it's going to be Nikki's future.
My future?
Yeah.
You never talked to me about this. What do you mean?
Well, what we mean is, if you have to retire from RCW as an active competitor, how will you still be involved with RCW other than the podcast?
Oh my god,
Because that one's
honest, but you know what? I'm not even going to reveal that.
But we have to talk about your future.
But we're not.
But we are.
We might have to, but I'm not.
As for the future,
Listen, you guys will see me, and it'll be a surprise whenever something
yes,
happens.
he'll still be a part of the show, more so in a backstage role.
I'll be working on Tough Enough as well.
Yeah, so don't expect him to be again, after his retirement match, he's done in RCW, if he has to retire. If NWE doesn't give a shit if he retires, then there will be no retirement. But if he does, which there is, I'm going to say there's a 90% chance of him having to retire from the backyard. He will still be a part of RCW because he's basically the co-owner. But he won't be in an on-screen role. The closest thing to an on-screen role he will have is Tough Enough.
Yep.
He'll basically be more so involved with the background shit, so scouting for wrestlers, getting the wrestlers together.
Yeah, I don't want to see RCW fall to the ground.
He'll be the rides for most wrestlers like he usually is, and blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Because they take place in his backyard, so
Harlow Jester's a very good promo coach as well.
It takes place in his backyard, so he's still gonna work for us, damn it. he may no longer be an active competitor, but I'll put him to work in other ways. I hear that Nikki Blade guy could be a really good ring trainer.
Thank you.
Maybe.
Thank you.
Depends if he tears his Achilles between now and then.
Oh, shut up.
Wait, didn't you lose to Austin O'Connor because of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you lost to Austin. You lost to Austin O'Connor. You lost to Austin O'Connor. There goes Nikki Blade's Hall of Fame career, as you'll see in Hell.
So, by the way, these podcasts will become characters. So, the way that this is going to work is that we're going to put two RCW enemies that are going to wrestle each other, and they will take it on the podcast. They will be talking smack with each other. They will be doing all that shit.
And also the way the new podcast system is going to work that I have devised. It's going to be every 5th podcast, hopefully, we're going to have a guest.
So Austin O'Connor, let me just tell you, I might be retiring, but I'm still coming for you for what you've done in this business.
If Nikki Blade wins,
I'm gonna kick
if
your
Nikki Blade
head
wins
off
their
of your
second,
shoulders.
if Nikki Blade wins the second encounter, will we see a trilogy?
Do you know what? I'm kicking Austin O'Connor's ass.
I don't know that. I mean, it's not that hard. As you'll see from Halloween Massacre, which should be uploaded sometime this weekend. I'm gonna try.
I wasn't wrestling Austin O'Connor.
Not at Halloween, but you hinted at an epic match that may or may not be coming down the pipeline.
I don't remember, but moving on.
Okay, so again, Nikki Blade will still be a part of RCW, but he just won't be as big of an authority figure on screen / wrestler that he is. He'll basically be involved with the podcasts, and he'll be involved with Tough Enough. That's other than like the backstage shit, because he'll still he'll still make sure the wrestlers are here, because he still goes to school with most of the wrestlers, so it's just easier that way for him.
Not after this year.
Not after this year, but as it stands right now, you still do. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And since you still do, you can just gather them up easier than I could.
Yeah. Sorry guys, if you guys hear a little noise in the background, we just have somebody leaving right now.
Yeah,
so
it's
if you
me.
hear a door slam,
It's me.
it's all good.
I'm done. I quit. Sick and tired of your shit, Nikki.
But anyways, yeah, no, so Tough Enough will be coming up soon. Hope
Yeah, and that's actually the next topic. If you want to dive right into that.
we will be taking a quick break, and then we'll be taking it on. Jasker hates breaks, but ladies and gentlemen,
it's very
enjoy the song. Here we go.
And the next 4 topics will be done after this break, and then the closing statements, and then the song. Okay, bye.
Drops over the massive attack. I only make this like a one with a rocket and back. Put on my jacket and hat. Slow down, slow down. Bringing gravity back. I don't see by the major. All of my family back. People work hard just to get all their salary tax. But I'm just a writer from the ghetto like Mallory Black. Damn. I used to be the kid that no one cared about. It's like you have to keep screaming till they hear you out. Yeah, I needed a change. When we gave me never took it, we needed a change. I needed a break. For a sec, I even gave up believing and praying. I even done the legal stuff when I needed a strain. They say the money is the root of the evilest ways. But have you ever been so hungry it keeps you away? Babe, now my hunger will leave from my main grave. It feels like a long time coming. Since the day I thought of that cunning plan. One nigga had a dream, I tried to taste it, but I wasn't going nowhere. Running, I knew that maybe someday I would understand. Trying to change a 10 to 100 grand. Everyone's a kid that no one cares about. You
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the third podcast of RCW.
That show and song put me to sleep.
Huh?
That show, WrestleMania 27, and that song put me to sleep.
Sorry, what was on the list? I'm just following the boss's rules, man.
Let's get that fucking chapstick, you fucking hippie.
I'm putting chapstick on my lips.
Yeah, because he's gay.
Yeah, and they need to shine.
Next on the podcast agenda is Tough Enough, which will be happening Sunday, December 2nd, hopefully. That's the date we are looking to. So,
wait, question before we go into that. What was your favorite WrestleMania?
Favorite WrestleMania?
Alright, I'll be honest with you, I kind of like Sting versus Triple H.
So 31. I'm going to go with 28. 28 was my favorite because it had a good championship match. And Rock and Cena was a really entertaining match. So I'm going to maybe go with 28.
Fair enough.
Because CM Punk and Chris Jericho was like arguably the best match of the year.
You know what? I love Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon.
WrestleMania 10?
Yup, bees.
Yeah, well, you said favorite WrestleMania, not favorite WrestleMania match. So, okay, so if there's no more weird questions, I think we're going to get into Tough Enough.
Alright, let's get into Tough Enough.
So, like I said, hopefully December 2nd. Nikki, who do we have on the first inaugural season/episode of Tough Enough?
Well, Jasker, that'll be a surprise.
Oh, come on, Nikki. Review one person for the fans at home, other than the obvious one.
Someone who will go under the mask of Sanabe.
Whoa, yeah, that's right. We found Sanabe.
Got a new Sanabe.
Now we just need a new funny.
No.
Maybe.
JK.
Possibly, probably. So, yeah, Tough Enough will be on the 2nd. They will be about half hour to an hour video, I'd say.
Probably.
The way...
Sorry, guys, I'm burpy.
I think maybe a good format for it would be... if it's a half an hour, 15 minutes of ring work, 15 minutes of promo/character building.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's longer, if it's an hour, well then we'll do it 30-30.
Then just for show business, we will have, since we're not judging anybody and we don't eliminate anybody, what we do is we comment. So we will have the vet comment at the end of each episode in front, face-to-face with the students.
Well, the vets that are there. We're not going to promise that all the vets are going to be there at every episode.
More likely me and Jasker.
Yeah. And the way I think we should do it is it's going to probably be like face-to-face in front of a table in a dimly lit room.
Yep.
To add suspense.
Definitely.
But no, so the way Tough Enough is going to work is we're going to be putting them through mental.
I'll name you a student. Austin O'Connor is definitely
Austin O'Connor will be a student. So the way Tough Enough is going to work, this is the way I'm thinking it should work.
And he already has a bonus because he was already in the ring too.
Exactly. So he has the...
So there's no excuse for him not to
get
work
better
hard.
And get better.
And try his best.
To be better than the new students and to prove that he is the next generational talent in RCW.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I believe in him if he puts his heart and soul into it. He could do it.
Yeah.
He just needs to want it and he needs to try.
He has to earn that title match, that title that we all know he wants.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the way I'm thinking Tough Enough should work, and I think Nikki may or may not agree with this, is it should be about 10, if it's an hour episode, I say 20 minutes of teaching, and then 10 minutes of a challenge. So what I mean by a challenge is, say Austin O'Connor is facing me, for example, in the Tough Enough. I say Austin O'Connor has to his task is to pin me within 30-second time limit. I don't fight back like I would in a match. I fight back a little bit. I resist him from trying to get to pin. Sorry, I needed some water. So the way it should run is like, say it should be, for example, it would be a challenge where you get 30 seconds to pin Hardcore Jasker, for example. And Hardcore Jasker is allowed to fight back, resist your pin, but not fight back. Anybody who succeeds in that will get an advantage in the next challenge. So we're going to kind of run it like a game show sort of thing, where the winners and losers of a challenge get an advantage in the next challenge. So say the next challenge, for example, would be wrestling each other. So say Austin O'Connor lost his previous challenge, so we say, Austin O'Connor, you have to wrestle this guy, but with one hand tied behind your back. And that's how, like, so kind of like 15 minutes of work if it's 15 minutes each, it will be 10 minutes of work, 5 minutes of challenge. If they're an hour long, it will be 20 minutes of work, 10 minutes of challenge. So in total, it will be 40 minutes of teaching, 20 minutes of challenges. And we want to reward the winners of the challenges, so they will get an advantage in the next challenge, whereas we're not kicking anybody off / firing. That's how
You got good points there.
that's how I'm thinking it should run.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Me and Nikki will, of course, think of the challenges beforehand, and it will have to do with that set portion of their training. So if they're working on ring work, then it's going to be a challenge to do with ring work. And if they're cutting a promo, then it's going to be a promo challenge, and so on and so forth.
Yuppies. We could burp quite a bit.
Yes.
That was loud.
You're welcome.
That vibrated my ears.
So, yeah, no. Tough Enough, December 2nd, be there. Well, the people who are on Tough Enough have to be there.
Yep.
Or else they will be punished if they miss the show without valid excuse.
Yeah, I mean, if you gotta go get your pinky removed or something, like, that's a normal excuse. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Without valid excuse, you will not. You will be handicapped in your challenges.
Yep.
So I think that says everything I want to say about Tough Enough. I don't know if Nikki has anything to add.
No, just work hard, guys. You'll have
And
no
don't be
problem.
losers.
Yeah.
And don't be losers.
Where are we at now?
I want to talk about how me, Hardcore Jasker, the greatest wrestler in RCW history, will be running RCW if Nikki Blade were to retire.
Perfect. He'll be coming back up with that right after the break. Thank you very much.
This will be the last break before the end of the show.
chain up, good stop. But I start loving, I just can't stop. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Look at the road, and I'm pulling in. Keep you home, and be the only boyfriend, yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the third podcast of
Shit.
Dino.
Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. As I said before the break. How will RCW be ranked
CW rain.
if Nikki leaves?
You want me to leave?
Yeah, I just can't wait for him to leave, and then I have full free creative control to push me and only me.
I wonder if this could stick up somebody's butt.
You would stick up your own butt. Anywho, for anybody who doesn't know and or wants to know, he's talking about his chapstick. He wants to shove it up his own ass.
Prove it.
Look at you, and it proves it. That's what I thought.
I hate it.
Yeah, fruit. Anyway.
It's actually, what flavor is this?
Berries.
Berries. Yeah, it is actually.
From what it says.
Berries with.
Just looking over at the cap.
Berries with.
Vitamin E.
Vitamin E.
Anyway, so how RCW if Nikki Blade does have to retire? Mind you, he'll still be involved backstage, but he won't have much to do with the shows.
Tier.
So, I'm going to run you through each pay-per-view of 2019. The comeback will be RCW's comeback. That's why it's called the comeback, you fucking moron. The comeback will feature, hopefully, at least 3 matches, if not more. Nikki Blade may or may not be on that show. Who knows? Next is the sequel to World War Z, which takes place in May, which will be called World War I. The way World War I is going to work is... This is a formula I just thought of. Me, Paul, and Nikki will not be in the World War I matchup.
Which is our Royal Rumble, for those of you who are clueless on what we're talking about.
Yes, and the way it worked is it is an elimination battle royal, reverse battle royal. What I mean by reverse battle royal is you don't get thrown over the top rope, you get pinned or submitted. But you enter at intervals.
And there you go.
So, with that being
almost like, think of it this way. Elimination chamber.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. It's like an elimination chamber, just minus the cage. And you're allowed to go outside of the ring, obviously.
Well, you're allowed to do that in the elimination chamber as well.
But you could risk getting counted out if you are outside of the ring long enough. since it's an elimination match.
Oh.
Makes sense to be counted out.
Ooh.
That's the only time RCW enforces countouts.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we fucking hate them and we think they're gay. That's why we don't do them. Except for that one referee at the comeback show who did it. You know who you are, kid. Call your ass
No.
Shh.
It was a weapons match, you dumbass.
He tried to count you guys out at one point.
No, we didn't.
That wasn't even a real burp. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages,
Shut the fuck
Generation X proudly brings to you the baddest tag team champions in the world.
We don't have tag team champions.
The Road Dogg,
We
Jesse
don't have tag
James,
teams.
the badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Soul Patrol.
Okay, so the way that World War I will be ran this year is myself, Nikki, and Paul will not be involved in the World War match. I got a title. I have the Canadian Championship that I got to defend, and the RCW champion is vacated at this time. So that's why I won't be involved, and Nikki and Paul want to give it to the new kids. So it's going to be basically new guys only in that battle royal, and the way it's going to work is 5 or 6. I'm hoping for 6, but 5 at the very least will contest, where the winner will go on to Backyard Mania 3 to fight for a title of their choosing. So say, for example, Sinape finally wins a fucking match for once. Thanks for the echo, buddy. So say Sinape actually wins a match for once, and he says, hey, Viva la prostate, I want the Canadian Championship match here, Oliva!
Viva la Prasta, Viva la Prasta.
So he says that, basically. And then he would fight whoever the Canadian champion is.
Sinape. I love him.
Yeah, he would love him. So whoever the Canadian champion is at the time, Sinape would go on to face at Backyard Mania 3. Which brings me into the next pay-per-view, which would take place in June, with any luck.
Who's excited for Backyard Mania 3 already? I know I am.
I am, even though you probably won't be a part of it, but
Shit.
we'll let Nikki have a special commentary job on that night.
Fuck yeah.
Or ring announcer or something.
Can I ref a match?
Yeah, sure, you can ref a match.
Man, no.
He'll ref the Canadian Championship.
I don't know what I'll be doing by then.
He'll be a part of Backyard Mania 3 in some way if he's not wrestling.
Shitty fucking camera guy.
Yeah, maybe he'll be behind the camera, who knows. So yeah, which brings me on to Backyard Mania 3. The way Backyard Mania 3 is going to work, it's going to work the same as Backyard Mania 1 and 2, where everybody cuts a promo or conducts an interview.
Yeah, for sure.
Or gets interviewed again, like we did for 1 and 2.
Yep.
So that's how we kind of want to run Backyard Mania 3. Same way as this year and last year, because I like the formula that we have. The winner of the World War I match, World War I match, will go on to face either the Canadian champion or RCW champion. So at this point, say Sinape were to win, he'd be facing me or he'd be facing nobody because the RCW champion is vacated.
Yeah, so we don't know yet.
But I'm still standing as champion. Bitches.
Hello. Yeah, no, but anyways, we'll see what happens.
That brings me on to the pay-per-view for July, which will be Clash of the Titans. And the way I see Clash of the Titans working is almost like a backlash or a payback, where people who feel like they got wronged at Backyard Mania will fight for their rematches. So say, for example, Sinape loses to the Canadian champion, but he's like, hey, I did everything right. He pulled my hair. He gripped my tights. And he...
Funny the Clown said that too. It's weird.
And he, well, at least Funny the Clown actually fucking has hair.
But he also got his tights pulled. by Olivia James was just wrong from her to do that.
Screw it.
You can't pull each competitor's tights.
I've done it.
That's rude. That's a cheap.
Anything to win, motherfucker.
You're a heel.
No shit. I fucking hate each and every one of you who's watching right now. Sitting on your fat, lazy asses, listening to us. Like, how dare you? How fucking dare you?
We want that play button. Be nice to them.
I'll go all Enzo Amore on you and cut a rap song promo on you assholes.
I like your pom-pom on the top of your head there.
Yes. Don't touch my fucking pom-pom, you bitch. So yeah, Clash of Champions will kind of be like WrestleMania, Backyard Mania rematch kind of show, and one with a few other matches. Which brings me to August, which is the greatest pay-per-view, our version of Money in the Bank, Domino Effect. Domino Effect will run the same way it did 2 years ago because we didn't get a Domino Effect show this year, unfortunately. We wanted to do it at the old arena, but one, we didn't have a ring to. It was way too fucking expensive.
Uh-huh. When they were building a new one right beside it.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Richard Buck do that.
So yeah, Domino Effect will run the same way it did last year. No, not last year, the year before. Where it will be maximum of 4 people, minimum of 2, obviously. Will compete in a ladder match for a contract hanging off of a tree.
Yep.
And whoever wins that contract can cash in whenever they want on any champion they want.
Yep.
Which leads me into September's pay-per-view, which is Devil's Playground.
What's next on the schedule?
Shut the fuck up. That's what. What do you mean?
What'd you write on your phone?
We're not into that yet.
Oh.
I'm still talking about how I'm gonna run RCW.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, bitch. This is why I'm glad you're leaving. Now nobody will interrupt me.
Okay.
Anyway, that brings us to Devil's Playground, which is the September pay-per-view. The Devil's Playground is basically going to be all no disqualification matches. It's going to be the brutalest night in RCW, with any luck. And that's how that's going to run. And then October, which will be Halloween Massacre 2.
No, 3.
Oh, technically 3, but 2 of full shows. 2 full shows, technically 3.
We did.
We didn't have the full show recorded, though.
You're right.
That was the night you decided, I'm not going to record this, and then you regretted it literally after the show was done.
Not that show. I'm talking about the one that with you and me. The one, not the one.
Well, you regret not filming both shows.
Yeah.
That's fair enough to say. The way Halloween Massacre is going to be ran is the main event will be a stipulated match, whether it be street fight, falls count anywhere, I quit, and the rest will be normal matches. So that way, the massacre comes at the end of the night. Just like this year, the massacre came at the end of the night when the main event match was so brutal that the man who lost his career was never ever the same again. And that's why he's not here anymore. But he's still here, but he's like not physically here right now. He knows who he is because he's a loser. He's a bitch lasagna. And November. We do have a pay-per-view planned for November. Whether or not it happens, it depends. Because right now, it is November, and we have a foot of fucking snow on the ground. So it all depends when it starts snowing in November to see if we have a pay-per-view done. If we don't pre-record that pay-per-view, which there's a good chance that we will, and it will just be uploaded in November. That will be like our Remembrance Day show. We'll have all the wrestlers pile out on the ramp for Row Canada. And then normal matches from there. But in a twist, for one night only, the Canadian champion will be the main event instead of the RCW champion. So whoever the Canadian champion is at the time will have the main event in November's show. Since Canada remembers our fallen vets, and that is our way of saying thank you to the vets by putting the Canadian championship as the main event. Okay, so I've pretty much am done talking about how the company will be ran. Now, I want to talk about who will be basically the management. So, I will be running the show both off-screen and on-screen if Nikki leaves. Nikki will still have a little bit of a say, but not as huge as he does right now. Whereas me and Nikki together, we decide who gets pushed and who doesn't.
We will still be working as a team.
Yes, we'll still be working as a team, but I will have a majority of the decision-making, not Nikki. Because Nikki technically won't be a full part of the company, and he can't really affect the full product if he's not a part of the product. As big as he was. Or as much as he was, whatever the fuck you want to say. So I'll be both, I will officially become the off-screen and on-screen general manager if Nikki Blade is to retire. So, with that being said, right now, if you were to look at it, if Nikki Blade does get the bad news tomorrow night that he has to retire.
Well, it won't be bad news. You should be happy for me.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not happy.
I'm joking. No, I know you are. Dude.
If RCW gets the bad news that Nikki Blade has to retire, then I will fully become the general manager of RCW, which means the Canadian.
Trust me, guys. I don't want to retire. I still really want my. I still really want my spot in NWE, and I really still want my spot in RCW. I love both companies, man.
But no, again, we're fine with Nikki going off to do this NWE stuff. It wasn't an easy decision for him to come to, but he came to the decision nonetheless, and he's leaving to go fight in the Maritime Circuit while we stay in Rexton and kick everybody else's ass in the backyard.
It's gonna be a pretty fun trip. I'm excited.
So his tryout will start tomorrow. If he gets the green light saying, yes, we want you a part of NWE, but we don't want you doing that fake backyard ass crap anymore, then I will take over as full general manager, both on and off screen, which means everything goes by me and through me. So yeah, I will have all the power in RCW. All the power. Which is fun. I like having power in RCW. It's because I'm such a boss. I'm a boss-ass bitch. And the thing is, with Nikki's retirement foreshadowing, and could possibly be in the near future, with me taking over, it assures that there's still an RCW product out there for all the fans that still watch, and that is the main reason why I will be fully taking sole ownership of RCW until and if Nikki were to ever come back to RCW full-time. Until then, if he does get the news tomorrow that he has to quit backyard wrestling, I will start taking over as of November 23rd. If he gets told tomorrow that he has to retire. If he doesn't get told tomorrow that he has to retire, well then, as soon as he is told that he has to retire, he will, what was I saying? He will no longer be an integral part of RCW anymore. He will have at least one more match on a show. One more match on a show as his final farewell goodbye RCW match. And after that, Nikki Blade will no longer be a mainstay on RCW TV. So yeah. As for me, I'll still be here night in, night out on your YouTube, on your computer screen, on your TV screen, on your phone screen, whatever it is you prefer to watch RCW to. However you watch RCW, I want to run the company the best that I can, and that's what I'm going to do if Nikki has to retire. Nikki will, like I said, will still be a part of Tough Enough. He'll be on in the backstage crap, but other than that, Nikki will not be as big of a part of RCW if he has to retire. But on the plus side, he gets more exposure out on the Maritime circuit than he would here. So you got to take the good with the bad, and that's what we as a company have decided, that we will take the good with the bad. The good is that Nikki will get that exposure that he deserves, but we lose Nikki at full time, which is fine. Hopefully by then we'll have enough wrestlers that Nikki's loss, it will impact the main event scene, but it won't impact long-term storylines and plans with any luck. And yeah, so like I said, the next episode of the podcast of Nikki Blade gets told tomorrow night, November 24th, that he does have to retire from the backyard. The next one, which will be recorded sometime next week, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, most likely, I think Friday, because I'm working Saturday again. I think maybe I'm working Sunday and Friday. I don't know. I'll have to check. No.
Do you cut meat like BT Bobby Bay?
No.
Shit.
Who's BT? Who? Never heard of him.
BT Bobby Bay.
Who?
IHW vet.
Who?
IHW vet.
Who?
Hey.
Who?
Hey.
Who?
Ooh.
Oh, you mean that guy I screwed for the RCW champion?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Fat loser. Fat loser. Yeah, so again, Nikki will still be a part of RCW. He just won't be as big a part if he has to retire. And that means that the next episode of the podcast, if Nikki is told tomorrow night that he has to retire, it will be an interview format of me and Nikki. And it will be...
You're interviewing me?
Yeah, it will just basically be about an hour-long interview in retrospect of his career in RCW/UWF.
Cool.
Even though UWF didn't really exist for long, but I still count it. And maybe even we'll touch back on his childhood one, because, I mean, it counts. And his experience with wrestling. So maybe we'll touch a little bit on that chapter. Probably not a lot. That chapter will be very minuscule because that maybe take up like the first 5 minutes of the interview, because I mean that's not as prominent as RCW is in his head and in all of our heads, because RCW is around still and the other company is not.
Cool.
That shit folded like 2 years ago.
And that there, guys, when we say podcast, it will not be an audio podcast. It will be...
No, this one will be a video formatted podcast like the first two were.
Yeah, so next week's podcast will not be audio. It will be video.
Nikki is told tomorrow he has to retire.
Correct.
If not, it will be an audio podcast.
Correct.
So hopefully we'll keep you up to date between now and then.
Awesome, guys.
And for the final, I guess if there's any news involving any RCW superstars.
Final subject.
I can think of a few news. Nikki Blades will be having a retirement match, like we said, maybe even one more, but for sure he will be having a retirement match on a show. So make sure you watch every show in 2019 to figure out what show he is retiring on. 2, Backyard Mania 3 we are going to try to make it the biggest Backyard Mania that it has ever been. I want hopefully like 4 matches instead of 4+ matches like we had this year. So hopefully by then we can have a big enough roster to have like 4+ matches.
Awesome, man. Sounds good, man.
And with that being said, I think our time is up. My time is now. You can't see me because this is an audio podcast, motherfucker. I have been Hardcore Jasker, the Kekistan Warrior, and your Canadian champion. I will see you, whether it be on RCW's Podcast 3, video format, or RCW Audio Podcast 4. Until then, keep it tight, have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Also, stay tuned to the channel because Halloween Massacre will be uploaded either today, the 23rd, the 24th, or the 25th.
And other more.
So yeah, stay tuned to the channel. We got a few matches that have been pre-recorded that will be uploaded throughout the winter, along with the podcast to keep this channel up and running, unlike last winter where we just kind of sat there doing nothing. So this year we got quality content for you. So, as I make my outro, just remember this: stay beautiful, you ugly fuckers. And I've been the hardcore of the Jaskers, the Kekistan Warrior, and most importantly, the first ever RCW Canadian and RCW champion. Merry Christmas and go fuck yourself.
Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Love ya.
I know.
Yes. Well, look here, what do we have? Another pretty thing ready for me to grab. But little does she know that I'm a wolf and she's coming, 'cause at the end of the night it is her I'll be holding. I love you so, hey, that's what you'll say. They tell me, baby, please don't go away. But when I play, I never stay. So every girl that I meet, yeah, this is what I say. What should I do? So many eager young bunnies that I'd like to pursue. Not even though they're eating out the palm of my hand. There's only one carrot and I gotta share it. I love you so.